So, hello. I am so happy to be back again today. All's well that ended well yesterday, I suppose. Now, we are going to get into some basic shit today. I'm going to finish the conversation with Richter, and we are going to go ahead. Now, Richter's about to do some lore dumping. All right. Now I got that out of the way. Oh, and apparently I made it to. I see that Anna Clark followed me yesterday. I made 10. I have 10 followers. There are 10 people who actually. There are 10 people who clicked that button on me. That's fucking weird. I don't know how to feel about it. That means there's 10 people getting notifications that I went live. That's fucking weird to me. And Clark is awesome. Timmy, Timmy's OG. Hey, how are you? All right, that's good to hear. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's raining. Oh, did you? Okay. You got to be careful. Okay. Well, you got to be careful when you're pretending. Timmy! Yeah, 5 streak. Hey, what's up, dude? Yep. All right. So I kind of got lore ish. It's not a whole lot. It's just our people came from a country. The ones had ambitions on the forest. To that end, the settlement was established 10 years ago. We started with 500 soldiers, tradesmen, and their families. We began exploring forests, but once you get to a forest, you get beasts that's fire who made it impossible to get near them without bursting into flames. Beasts of the air who would descend on anyone unlucky enough to be in an open space. Beasts of the trees who could change the terrain to manipulate paths we walked. We've been trying to go deeper into the forest. We have lost many to the doom that this place produces. Though we have found a sort of comfort here, we're losing our strong faster than they can grow. We left with strong. We're left with. We are left. There it is. That's what I thought. We are left with strong-minded teachers with weak bodies who can't defend the students on a hunt, and weak students with no one to challenge, with no challenge to grow from, and no safe place to do it. And then suddenly, out of the forest comes a man who is able to withstand not only multiple piercing rounds from the best archer in the country, who can split full-grown trees with a single shot, but he also claims to be able to kill a monster that not only has no one ever killed before, but no one has ever even gotten within 10 men of without bursting into flames. It's not that big. It's one paragraph. It's a lot of stuff in it though. But 10-minute burst in flames. So you see the people all that is left of the this village is 10 years old. That makes 70 years of life for the village for Richter. Well, no, he was 60 when he was 60. He was kind of like leaderish because again, old people get stronger with magic, but they still physically deteriorate because they still age. Like they have the ability to get stronger by basically forcing their body to just get stronger and tougher, and they can rejuvenate themselves, but they can't de-age. They still age regularly. They're still human aging. So, so yeah, when Richter came down, he was the strongest magician, but he was still a 60-year-old man. So he was the leader of the group. He was the one who can make the village strong. Him and Iroh and Iroh's wife are the older people in the village are like the heads. They're the group's like leaders, but they're not like the soldiers. They can't be as strong. Like even an old magician who is super talented is still an old person. It's like Boomy. It's like Boomy from Avatar. He's really strong, even though he's old, but he's still old. You know, like Iroh in Avatar. He's really strong, but he's still old. Like he can still get caught off guard by the old shit, you know? Like your experience makes you strong, your experience makes you tough, but your experience does still come at the cost of, your physical health and capability. So Richter here is, when he came down again 10 years ago, when he came down, he was like a 60-year-old. He was like my dad. My dad's a 60-year-old man, but he still thinks he's, that guy. But when he's 70, he's still gonna like, okay, a little bit tougher on these things now. Yeah, everything a little bit tougher, but he's gonna be a little bit more shrunken. Like I don't know why, but they can't do it. Yep, that's exactly it. They're the ones who came down and like, all right, cool, but unfortunately they've lost a lot of people in the forest. Like Richter has lost I'm gonna say a son in the forest. Richter lost one of his sons in the forest. Iroh like Iroh and his wife haven't lost anybody. They came down as an old couple. But uh Roger Roger has lost a kid. His kid was just a kid though. Like his kid was literally like 13. He wasn't like a fighter. He was just like with them and he just died. So yeah. But he was before, that was his kid from before he met Maria. Yeah. Yeah, like his kid before he met Maria, he just died. And they met Maria on the road, on the way down, and yeah, that's how they got together. Because Maria was basically like kicked out of the village after she killed a bunch of gangsters. She got exiled. Yeah. Well, we go back to Roger and we like talk to. Yeah, like because they came from like they came together because Roger didn't want her to die because she was kind of in a really shitty position. She had gotten kicked out of the village, but she had grown up as like, a mob boss's daughter, so she has a lot of ability to fucking hurt people. She can fight and but she can't really take care of herself. Like when they found her, she had basically just killed some pigs and was basically just taking big ass pig bones and stacking them up. There was just like piles of pigs. She was just like stacking pig bones up and they would keep falling into piles. And she just stretched the fucking skin out of one of the pigs over the shit, and she was sleeping under it. They thought it was a fucking monster when she was laying in the fucking thing, and she was just rolling. And they walked up to it like, "What the fuck is that?" And they poked it, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's a person." And then they saw her like, "Oh fuck, that's her!" Everybody get back. And Roger was on that. She can't be that bad. And then he went over and then she tried to bite him. And like, fuck, maybe she is that bad. But yeah, I'm just trying to like, all right. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna like the way. Yeah. The way that they like interact with each other is like, because she gets kicked out of the village like 6 months before they find her, and she is emaciated, but it's weird, she's emaciated but she has dead pigs, she's surrounded by dead pigs, and then you find out she can't cook. She's surrounded by dead pigs, so she's just been eating dead. So she's just been eating almost raw pig that's basically burned over a fucking fire because she can't cook. So she's just been killing dead pigs and sticking the shit on a stick and fucking roasting it over a fire. And then when she meets Richter, and then when she meets the rest of the group, no, it's not even raw. It's just burned. It's charred. She just sticks it over. She just puts it on a stick and puts it over the fire and just like fucking burns it every time. And she's always just like constant like ah. Then they find out she can't cook by like day 2 of her being in the like party with them because Candace is with them and Candace can cook. So she, being girl, invites other girl to like, hey, do you want to cook? And she's like, what? And you find out Maria cannot cook. So yeah, find out Maria can't cook, and then they find out, oh, how have you been surviving for 6 months? It's like, well, no, you just put this thing on. You just put the. You don't have to cook this shit. You just kill the thing and you stick the thing on some fire. That's all you gotta do. All of this fancy smancy shit that you fuckers are doing, you just stick it on fire. Oh, that's why you look like that. You haven't eaten real food in 6 months. And then she takes one bite of Candace's food, and then she kisses, and then she like starts crying. And then she starts crying. And then she eats all of the food and cries, and then she's going to Candace and she's giving her a hug. Like, I love you. I'm so sorry. And that's when Maria basically becomes like attached to Candace. She doesn't really like fuck with Roger all that much. She is Candace's fucking bestie. Like, her and Roger, they love each other, but if anything happens to Candace, Maria loses her fucking mind and she will kill you. Like, not even a little bit. She will kill you. Yes. And that is why if you fuck with Candace, Maria will turn you inside out. Like, I'm trying to like nail down what her key rage ability is once she finally does it, and basically what she does is she punches you and your skin falls off. Like, she basically turns you inside out by basically creating a layer of fat underneath your skin and then just forcing it to basically peel your skin off around you. And that's what she does to anybody who fucks with Candace. I just don't know the war. I forgot. There's going to be a war because of Chris. Chris is going to spark a bit of a conflict between the two little villages, and that is going to spill into a conflict between the village and the other country, and then that other country is going to come here, and then we're going to try and go to our country and say, hey, we need your help, and they're going to say no, and then I'm going to say, or how about yes. And then I'm going to kidnap the king and take him. I don't know how I'm going to deal with the country that all of the villagers come from saying no to, like, yeah, fuck it. We're not helping you. You started that fight. That's your fight. You figure it out. We don't even really know what the fuck that village is there for. Like, why the fuck is that village settlement there for? Anyway, nobody really gives a fuck about it. You figure it out. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to deal with that king country type person, and then I'm gonna have to deal with the other ones because they're gonna basically just come in like, all right, cool. When Chris takes the kids, they're gonna come in and like say, you kidnapped our citizens and we can't stand for that. You can't kidnap our citizens. And they're like, all right, cool. Wait, what were those citizens doing? Those were our prize children. You kidnapped children from our city. All right, cool. What were those children being set in that room for? Well, that's none of your business. You are not entitled to dictate what we can and can't do with our citizenry. Yeah.
Quick question. Is it possible for someone to have more than one manifest in their lifetime?
Yes, it is possible. But what usually happens is that you have to concentrate so much on learning the new one that you forget how to do the old one. Now, you can do two, but you won't be as skilled in both as you would in one. Like, there are people who try to multi-class, but they're usually far less skilled. The only reason my character does it and is successful at it is just because he is a semi-immortal and has multiple times like more magic than everybody else, so he can just expend it. He can just try stupid shit. He can just try dumb shit, and if he doesn't have enough, he has time to figure out how to do it again. But the average lifespan of people in this world is 80. You make it to 80 and you old as and you make it to 80 and you're about to die. That some people can live longer, like depending on like certain people who have like healing magic type attributes. The healers tend to live longer just because they're doing healing magic. They basically are doing like, hey, heart, I need you to stay a little bit longer. So, you know, her lungs, yeah, you a little bit better. I don't care if I smoke. Fuck it. So, yeah. The healers live a little bit longer, but the healers are the ones who push the average lifespan because a lot of people don't make it to, like, a lot of people don't make it to 40 because of the fact that, especially in this village, they've been exploring the forest. Like I said, there's 100 people in the village now. They started with 500, and they've had kids since. That means about 450 people have died in the 10 years that this village has been there, trying to get deeper into this forest. That 5 miles that I said that they've gotten into the forest, the 5 mile demarcation mark, that cost 450 lives to get that far. To explore that far cost 450 lives. Every time they try to go any further, like every time they try to get further in, it caused more and more people to die. So yeah, they have lost a lot of people in this village. So basically they just like, all right, well, we're gonna like try to build up our people again. And they're basically just having a moment where they're like, all right, cool. The only people who go into the forest are the hunters, and nobody is trying to go any deeper than the specific demarcation line. They have a demarcation line where they don't go past that. Because if they go past that, they know that there's a high likelihood they're not going to come back. And then all of a sudden, they just see some fucker walking through just with a little kid. They just see somebody just casually strolling through with a little kid, and then he gets shot, and it's just fine, and he just fine. They're like, oh. And then he gets to you, and he tells you like, oh, you killed a you killed a dragon? What the fuck? Like, yeah, he killed an Orstein. And an Orstein is not something that anybody's ever killed. Nobody's ever even gotten close to him. So you get within 10 men of a fucking Orstein and you burst into flames. So now this fucking guy who came in and said, yeah, I had to fucking stab him in the mouth. Huh? You did what? You stabbed him in the mouth? How? You were able to walk up to that thing and stab it in the mouth. And now we're gonna, like, it's been a month, so it'll be all bones and shit by the time we get back to it. But we're gonna go back to it, and I don't think we're gonna go back to it because that no. We're not going to go back to that because that would be too close to the other village, and I don't want them to be and I don't want them to interact with the other village. I don't want them to like accidentally see somebody in the village basically getting shredded by the other monsters in that section of the forest. I want the forest path that we build to go back to the lake in the middle of the forest because eventually, you know, the fucking people are like, hold on now. What did I say? I said something. Wait. I don't know, man. I'm just talking. Uh, I think I get it. Oh, oh yeah. But oh, shit. He's just right now he's so you see, given that everyone in this room is lost to this forest, your sudden shit. Whatever. Where? Well, yeah. Not like that. What are these? Yeah. Blue stuff on the moon.
I almost forgot about the moon thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I was bullshitting, and I was like, "All right, cool." He falling asleep. What would the moon look like on it?
Fuck it. Let's make the moon water. Let's put water on the moon. And then he saw it. He's like, oh fuck, the moon got water on it. So I'm trying to think if this is a binary planet system. It might be a binary planet system where both planets are moons of the other planet, where both planets orbit each other. So they, instead of one planet being the moon to the other, they are each other's moon. And that's why that's maybe. So yeah, that's why there's water on both planets. And that's why there's no ice. That's why there's no ice caps on either planet. There's no ice caps on either planet. That because of the shit. What is it called when planets the tidal forces. The tidal forces from the two planets being surrounding each other cause them to generate just enough heat to where there's no ice caps on either planet. They don't have any kind of like point where their orbits are parabolic. So there's never a moment where they're kind of like weird and shit. So they all orbit the sun in this weird fucking way that's kind of stupid and unkempt. So they don't have ice caps, and the tidal forces cause them to be a little bit hotter. So they don't really know. So that's how I'm trying to figure out a way to make it so that that it makes sense that these people don't know about ice. Cause I want to make ice. And I want to like, all right, cool. Hey, have you ever tried like moving the energy out of the water? And like, what do you mean energy? Like, well, like if you stop the water from moving and then you pull energy. Shit. How do I say energy? Okay. Here, if you stop the water from moving and then you take the heat out of the water and you stop the water from moving and you take the heat out and you get all of the energy that the heat had in it and you pull that out. Now you have to now I have to teach Roger how to control. Now teaching Roger how to control the energy of water can let him change the let him change the temperature of it. And once he finds that out, he's like, "Wait, I can change the temperature of water? Oh, oh!" And then he's gonna learn how to use ice magic. So yeah, yes, they don't have ice. They don't know it exists. They don't really think about it like, all right, cool. They've never had a cold winter day. Never. They don't have winter. The tidal forces from these two like planetary bodies makes it to where neither one of them really gets cold enough to where there's just natural ice. Hey, YS! They haven't even had ice cream in their life. Exactly. So yeah, when I start teaching Roger how to do how to manipulate the energy levels in the water so that he can make ice, it's basically going to be a revolution. It's gonna be a revolution. Maria's gonna learn like, oh wait, so I can use my heat magic, like because Maria doesn't really have like a fire magic. She just heat. So she's basically like warming, like raising and lowering the temperature. I'm going to teach her that that's basically energy control. So she's going to be able to like, I think Maria is going to get to the point where she starts to learn how to control the energy flow between cold and hot a little bit better. So she's going to get to the point where where they can make ice cream too. So they're going to go from the cleaners because guess what else? Guess what else you can do? Guess what else you can do? Because fat. Yeah, ice cream got a lot of fat in it. So guess where you can get a lot of that? Guess what you can help? Guess what? Yeah, you can control the content, the fat contents in the ice cream. Hell yeah! Oh, woo-hoo. They gonna make bank when they go back when they start producing ice cream. Exactly. You didn't know ice cream had fat in it. What do you think the cream is? It's fat. It's fat, baby. That's what milk is. Milk is just basically water with fat in it. Yeah, it's just the fat water that we get from animals. That's what milk is, baby. It's just yeah. Water is milk is lipids suspended in uh a solution. It's a lipid suspended in a saline solution. So yeah, it's fat. Lipids are fat, man. That's what Maria is going to basically make it to where the like the fat content in the fat content in the milk, because she's going to basically be the milk person. She's going to be the one who can control the milk itself, because milk is fat. So she's going to be able to like control the fat content of it to basically like, all right, cool. Because you need cream more than you need milk to make water. So she's going to be the one who makes the milk into cream by basically just separating the fat content from the water content, and basically just pulling the fat so Roger can pull the water and then take that off, and then like, all right, cool, we got cream. Timmy, you gotta learn how to cook, man. I'm telling you, you learn how to cook, you learn all types of weird shit about your food. Yeah, you're gonna learn all types of weird shit about your food, man. Learn that milk is basically just fat water. Yeah, milk is basically just fat. Look, biology class like ruined a lot of foods for me. Like biology class, like college level biology classes ruin a lot of foods for you, man. I ain't telling you. Oh, the blue stuff on the moon. That's water. Water.
You didn't know? You didn't know? I mean, we've never been. Have been able to find out? Have been. So, so what did you think it was? Think it was. Spirits. Cool. Okay. Okay, just that. What if we also had a muscle magic? Ooh, you wrote some story, you wrote some shit, Denny. A muscle magic user, and then there's Maria Nemesis or something. Uh, Decided to commit to the story in my project. Still can't help but a lot of world building aspects of it. I did hard to go for different first for the story. Honestly, the I had an ending in mind. Real shit with this one, the whole thing is just I want to write the story where I get to I wanted to the whole reason that I wanted to write a story was because I wanted to write the character who doesn't want to be dead. Like, not necessarily want to be dead, but doesn't want to be isekai. Because like isekai characters typically don't have anything to live for in their main universe. Like, they're going back. Like, I've seen one isekai recently that made me think, like, God damn, I love this isekai. And that's fucking bureaucrat to villainess. Dad's been reincarnated. I fucking love that show. Not only because it's like, all right, cool, there's a guy who in real life he had shit going for him, but then he got isekai. But no, it's like, even in that real life, his family like realized what happened and they're still in on it. And they're like, oh shit, he's in a coma, he's not dead. But in this world, they're like, all right, cool. His family realizes that he's isekai into this video game, and they're in their shit trying to help him. They're basically in the background, like, nah, fuck that. We gonna help him. We see Dad's in this video game. We gonna make sure he win this shit too. So yeah, nah, that was like, that shit is my fucking that is my like current inspiration to this. It's just basically, I want to like, all right, cool. So the reason behind this is basically just, I want to have an isekai story where the character doesn't see the life that they lived as a waste of a life. Because I keep seeing it, just even when the isekai character had good shit, like Makoto Misumi. Makoto was not disadvantaged in his regular life. His regular life, he was just a guy. He was just the guy. And he had a family, and his mom and dad were there, and his sister there. They were all there. And he's thinking like, maybe I'll go back. I don't know. I could go back. But he doesn't really care. He's like, all right, if I do go back, I'll go back. If I don't, it's not a big deal. So, like, even then, it's like, why is it they always just, the isekai character is always somebody who, in their life, didn't really have a life that they wanted to go back to. Every isekai character is just somebody who is in a life that they really just don't want to be in, and then all of a sudden they get an out. This character is like, he had a life he wanted to be in. He was fucking happy. He was married, wife, kids, all of that good shit. And then all of a sudden, gone. And he has to basically live this isekai life of, magic, sword, sorcery, all of that shit. But in the back of his mind is always, all right, now how do I get the fuck out of here? Like, all of the, like, isekai tropes of, like, all right, cool, you get all of the magic you want, you're as strong as you could ever think about being, and, you never have to worry about losing, like, you're not going to lose a fight. You might lose sometimes, but you're not going to lose all of the fights. He still has plot armor. I'm still writing the story, so he has plot armor. I'm going to try and make it as minimal as possible, but, he's the main character. This ain't Bleach. Ain't nobody stopping my fucking theme song. Once that black lady sing, she's singing. Ain't no, tink. No, fuck that. Fucking Aizen, bitch ass. But yeah, like, I want to give my character, I wanted a character who was basically like, all right, cool. I don't want a character who loses the idea of being human because they've become a monster. I want this person to, like, all right, cool. No matter what, I still want to go home. And he's going to realize, like, and at some point he's going to have a conversation with somebody who is basically going to try and confuse him or deal the, I don't know if it's going to be somebody who wants him to move on. I don't know if I'm going to have somebody who wants him to move on from his previous life, like, because I think in all it's going to be a really long time before he gets to leave, and then he's going to, like, have to deal with the thought, like, once he finally masters global teleportation, when he masters, like, Chris's teleportation power, because Chris is going to have the teleportation power, but it's not going to be global. Chris is still going to be like, I can go anywhere on this continent, but my character is going to be able to go anywhere, including to the moon. He's just going to do it because he's like, all right, cool. Hold on. I got wind magic. Let me make a bubble. I'm going to use this teleportation magic. Because it's been a long fucking time. It's been like 50 years. I've been staring at that motherfucker, and I want to go see what the fuck is on the goddamn moon. Chris gave me some teleportation magic. I wasn't going to fly to that. I was going to fly to that bitch, but then the first time I flew, the first time he tried to fly to the moon, he realized, like, oh shit, space is cold. It's really fucking far away, and I don't want to fly for that many days just going to the moon. So fuck it. I'm gonna not do it. And then he gets the teleportation magic, like, oh fuck yeah, go to the moon. And then he goes to the moon, he finds out, oh shit. I don't know if there's gonna be stuff on the moon, like other people, but I'm thinking it's gonna be stuff on the moon. I don't know. But, like, I'm gonna write this story, and I'm just gonna keep, like, in the back of my mind, I'm gonna keep the idea that maybe there's some shit on the moon. And then when he goes to the moon, I don't know if the moon is just gonna be like, all right, cool. The moon is gonna be where David is from or some shit. David is actually from the moon, and yeah, without David on the moon, oh wait, that could be where the Celestials are from. That could be where the Celestials are from, and that could be why they're all mad at David. Because David is from the fucking the moon, and he's supposed to be there, basically just like, all right, cool, he's there as their he's basically the, like, ping of magic production. And since he's not on the moon anymore, he's on Earth now because he's been following my ass around. He's on Earth. The people on the moon, like when I finally go back to the moon and I teleport to the moon, everybody's like, it could be like dragons and shit, like dragons and other griffins, not other griffins, but like I want to say monsters that are intelligent versions of the monsters on Earth. So there's going to be like unintelligent dragons on Earth, but there's going to be intelligent dragons on the moon. Because these are the versions of these animals that were here that had basically been here alongside David. These versions have been alongside David and they have grown massively intellectual. David did not influence their creation. He was just there because he used to live on the moon almost exclusively because he just didn't want shit to do with any other planet. And he was just like here. He was just basic. David was just on the moon. He was their God, but he ignored them the same way our God ignores us. But they could see him. And that's the problem. It's like we can't see God. So if God ignores us, it's like, well, is he there? We don't know. But this motherfucker is like right there. He's sitting right the fuck there. But when I go ask him, hey, can you help me? He just looks at me like, he like looking through me. Like he ain't shit. So they get like, they worship him and they want his attention and they beg for it. And then all of a sudden, he just disappears. And then the whole fucking planet just loses its fucking mind. They start a war, and then all of a sudden, the whole bullshit that the story that the people on Earth, like after about 100 years of David not being there, the moon starts to look different. And then that's when I figure out the teleportation magic and I go up to the moon and I find out like, oh, there has been war up here for the past 100 years because, oh, David left. Fuck. So what? Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like David is an asshole. Like real shit. He's an asshole to everybody except my character. And I don't want to like. I kind of don't want to make him like that. Because he's named after like a good friend of mine who was the opposite of this, who he was genial to everybody. He paid attention to everybody's issues and basically would be there for anybody no matter what the situation. When I make a character that is named after him, I'm not making the character like him. I'm just using the name because I love the idea of like having my friend with me again. But I'm not making this character my friend. My friend would never be like David. He would be like Curtis. He would be trying to help people and, you know, do the best he can to make sure that everybody gets taken care of. David in this story is basically just like, oh, well, I'm bored. And then he sees something that's interesting because it's not typical. That's a human. Right? And why is it so strong and magical? And then he goes down there and he sees me and he feels like, oh, well, this human can do shit that I can do. Cool. He's like me. So, yeah, I want to hang out with this human because he's like me. He's just like me. And him being around Curtis is basically making Curtis even stronger because David produces mad amounts of magic and Curtis absorbs mad amounts of magic. So it's basically like it's basically like plugging a car into a house. It's like plugging your car into your house. eventually, if the house power goes off, the car can be the generator for the house. So if you turn the house power off, the car can charge the house. Maybe this eventually happens to where there's an issue where I wanted to make a moment where David has to be saved, because now that I've established that it feels like tearing your skin off to basically pull magic out of yourself, I was gonna have a moment where Curtis pulls all of his magic to give to David to basically resuscitate him, to basically solve the problem of the war of the Celestials, because somehow the Celestials make an item that can pull after 100 years, they made an item that can pull that can basically force David to come back. They basically made a thing that all right, cool, we're gonna figure out how to trap God. And they figure out a way to force him to come back to the moon. They figured out oh, that's where he's at, because they basically find him because I teleport to the moon, and then I'm walking around what the fuck happened here? And then one of the Celestials sees me and they're like, what the fuck are you? Because they ain't never seen a human, because humans are on the one planet and the moon has the Celestials, so the Celestials never see a human. The only one who's ever seen both is David. The only one who knew that both existed is David. So the Celestials on the moon are just oh, what the fuck is that? And when they see a person walking around on the moon, ooh, this shit looks fucked. And then they see me and they were oh, shit. What the fuck are you? Because you kind of have the same, you feel like God. You smell like God. Are you God? Did God change? No. You're not God, but you've been around God. Where is God? What the fuck is wrong with you? Get off me. And they find me and they basically realize that and that once I realize oh shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here, and I start flying, and they're oh okay, the dragons fly after me, but then I just disappear, and then they realize is he disappeared. But he said he started to fly towards that thing, that other planet. Is he from there? Oh. Okay. No, basically they create a trap for David that basically causes him to have to come back to the moon. When they basically figure out that he's on the Earth equivalent, they figure out oh shit, we got to get his ass back to the moon. So when I teleport up to the moon and I figure out oh, that's where God went, because they could smell him on me and they realize that I'm from the Earth, so they're all right, cool. So they figure out, all right, cool, we're going to go to the Earth there. We're going to figure out how to get to the Earth. And then once we get there, we're going to figure out how to get God to come back. And then once he comes back, we're going to trap him. And basically, the only reason David really goes back to the moon is because I said, hey, dude, were you ever on the moon? Have you ever been to the moon? They're what the fuck is the moon? That thing. Have you ever seen that? You been there? Oh yeah, that's where I used to live there. Oh, well, you need to go back because there's some shit going on. And it was what? What happened? And then he goes back and they were oh, God's back. Get him. And they basically have a trap that basically keeps him on the moon. And then when I go back, there's the trap that keeps him on the moon. And basically it's a siphon. It basically siphons magic from him so that he can't move. But it's not as painful to him, but it does keep him from moving, and then eventually he gets to the point where he can't sustain it. Like he's just basically like flowing, but then the machine over drains and it starts to pull more from him than he can produce, which is astronomical, which is an astronomical amount of power, and eventually it has to go somewhere. And I don't know if it's going to make a new star. Because eventually what's going to happen is the machine malfunctions, whatever, and it just starts to overdraw from David. Now David doesn't care. He's like, oh well. And it's just overdrawing from him. But I give a fuck because I'm noticing that David is starting to fucking flicker. And he is starting to like lay down a lot more, and he's not as up, and even when I'm in the room he's like It's like a really old dog when they start getting sick. So it's like I noticed like, oh, and the people around the Celestials, they're not noticing it because they just know that God's back, and they have God back, and God is right there, so they can go talk to God, and He's there, and everybody on the planet is like happy now. They got the moon, they got the God back. He's on the moon. We can go see Him, and we know that He is here, and He still loves us. But He's trapped. So there's like, all right, cool. But when they do that and the machine does malfunction, it eventually causes all of David's energy to start draining. But once the machine malfunction, it doesn't have a place to store that energy that it can contain, because David is all powerful. So when you take infinite power out of infinite power, it just all of a sudden has to go somewhere. And eventually it just blasts into the fucking, space, conduit style. So I'm thinking that they managed to like fire it into space, but I'm wondering if it creates a new star. I'm thinking I want it to make a new galaxy, because I want them to basically have to fire it out, and it just creates a new galaxy when it explodes. Like I have to basically use the teleportation magic that I have basically cribbed from Chris, make that I've cribbed and made into a global, and then like just amplify my ability to spend out to basically use the magic that's in my hand right now, because I'm basically having to contain all of the magic that was just exploded out of David, and then use teleportation to teleport all of this magic into basically the farthest reaches of space. And then once it gets there, it explodes and becomes a new galaxy. No. I'm not not gonna kill him. But once I've basically like taken this bomb and made the galaxy, David's going to be damn near like faded. He's going to be laying there like old dog that's kind of like that old dog that's about to die. So he's going to be laying there like fading, and I'm going to I think I'm gonna like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna like put my hand on him, like realize like, oh, he's still producing magic, but he's not, it's not as strong as it used to be. It's not firing the way it used to. It's like he needs a jump start. And that's what I'm like, all right, well, maybe if I just jumpstart him, it'll work. I should have enough magic to jumpstart him. I just grew a bunch holding that fucking bomb, and sure, he had enough magic in him to fucking start a universe. I don't necessarily know if I have that, but fuck it, we're gonna find out. And then I'm like, just try pouring my magic into him, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be fast enough. So I'm gonna think like, okay, so I need to get as much magic into him as quickly as possible. He can accept my magic because my magic is his magic. Like, he's been giving me his magic for 100 years. His magic is my magic. We have the same magic. So, if I gave him all of my magic, would it work? So at that point, I'm going to start like stripping the magic, like pulling the magic out of my body, like pulling the magic all of my body. Just basically like I haven't decided if it's going to be like an internal thought process, but it's basically going to be like an internal monologue where he basically just goes into his brain, where he just basically goes into his inner world space and just starts pulling all of the magic off of his body bit by bit in the most excruciating act I've ever written. It's going to sound horrifying, but it's going to basically pull all of the magic off of his body into an orb in front of his face, and he is going to have to use the all of his energy to basically push it out, and it's going to be like ripping his skin off inch by inch, and it's going to feel like that. So he, once he does it, he's going to then like give it to David and then pass the fuck out. But that's going to jumpstart David, and then David is going to wake up like, all right, well, shit. He's going to kill like 3 Celestials because they're going to still be like, you know, standing there talking shit. He's going to kill 3 of them, but then he's going to like, all right, well, they're dead now. And then my character is just going to keep like, he's going to absorb magic. He absorbs magic. So with David producing magic again, it's going to make it so that my character can absorb magic again, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a few days, so he's going to be out for days. But yeah. Yes! A galaxy made entirely of magic from a god. So yeah, when that happens, it's basically like, all right, cool. So the galaxy over there is all of a sudden entirely I don't know if the problem with that galaxy is going to be like a new galaxy. So it's going to be like any other new galaxy, and it's mostly going to be molten and not a whole lot of like life in it. But it's going to develop life quickly, or it can develop life quickly because it's magic from a god. Sound reasonable? Okay, so no. Okay, so God knows where it came from. That seems to be. Oh, I keep forgetting how to spell this shit. Reei. Yeah. Oh, there it is. All right. Pretty much. Like, yeah.
Hey, man. You see what the fuck my drawings look like. I'm telling you, you ain't nothing you gonna show me that I'm gonna have any kind of thoughts about. Other than that shit's awesome. Cause yeah, I love art. I don't care who makes it or what it looks like. Cause I come from a family filled with autists. So we are all always kind of drawing like something. Like my sister does a lot of like tattoo work. My brother is a fashion guy. So art is just art to me. If you show me something, I'm gonna think it's dope. I don't care. If you show me something a person made, I think it's dope. Like you see my kids' pictures in the background and shit. Like I ain't got nothing but love for anybody doing anything with their hands. My dad's a wood carver, so yeah. Shit. I don't know what mistake. Is it weird that I can fly? Is it weird that I can fly? A little. I want to hear from you about what you want me to do about it. Do you prefer next to listening in Facebook page or Gmail? Do however you want. Whatever is easiest for you, because I know Gmail is a little bit easier to just send it as an attachment. When Facebook, you might have to like do some shit. But yeah, if you want to Gmail it to me, that's fine. You got my Gmail. Yeah, anything you want to send me, you can send me through Gmail. I check it. I check it constantly. It's on my phone. I hear it every day. So yeah, if you want to send me something on email, feel free. All right. It is weird. Is it weird that I can fly? A bit. I'm it. In the beginning, I think it's going to become less than Oh. Well. So. I don't need to tell them about. That we use one of the trees to make a shelter. And I saw
this way. And this you already know. Really? So distance fire. No. I'm not sure how to handle this one. Suggestion. Against you, spy. It's a kill. Oh, he can fly. He can fly. He's like Peter Pan. He can like. But yeah, he can fly. He can fly. He can like. He can't do the Viltrumite thing. He can only like he can fly in one direction, but he can't do like the Viltrumite shit where he can just like pivot in any direction, like PNG yourself across the screen. Like, nah, he can like push himself. He can like have it to where he can push off from any point on his body, but he has to push off from there. He has to actually like push, like physically grab and push from one direction to the other so that he can, because his propulsion is in his hands and feet, like Iron Man. So he has to like point to where he's going to go. Because right now, with just his with just the like, just the magic projection that he can do that. But later on, he'll get to the point where he can actually like control his personal like wind. He once he learns wind magic, he'll be able to like control it better so that he can add his magic propulsion with the wind to carry him around and make it a little bit easier, because it's easier to fly when you just use wind magic, and other people are going to be able to use other people are going to be able to like fly with wind magic, but they're not going to be able to fly far. My character can fly wherever the fuck he wants. Oh, shit. Enough. Yes. For most people, for yeah, For everybody, it requires stamina because, again, you gotta like you got to be able to control what you're doing, and even when wind magic users do it, they basically have to be able to control the wind around their body to basically just help to move them along. And the longer you do that, the more you have to influence the wind, and the more you have to keep that, you have to concentrate that air to make it solid enough for you to move with it. If you lose your concentration, your air ain't solid no more. You got to figure it out on the way down. Yep.
Okay. First. Who you want first? What do you mean? All right, Timmy. Hey, get you some sleep. Relax, dude. Got this. We're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep going because I'm in kind of a thought because I'm doing this back and forth with these two characters. So I'm kind of like, all right, cool. This conversation is going places. I like it. I'm gonna keep hanging here, and I will see you later. Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna come back tomorrow because I gotta keep doing this. I gotta keep it going. At a certain point, I'm gonna start doing this like I'm working though. I'm gonna start doing this for like a few hours every day. And then I'll have like a break period in between because I'm really liking the doing this thing. And I want to keep doing it because I keep coming up with good ideas when we do this together. So I want to do this. All right. See you later, Timmy. Have a good one. That's clear on your word.
Like, you. Sure. Sure. If absolutely. Well, make the path. Um,
Hey, real quick, I'm going to do something different. So I gotta fix the phone real quick, but I gotta fix the phone so that I can use it as a stream deck. So real quick, I'm gonna pause writing and switch over to a different camera. I'm gonna pause writing and I'll switch to the wood. I'll pause writing and I'll come back. I'm gonna go ahead and be right back. I will come back once I have the other phone fixed so that I can use it as a stream deck. Or yeah, because I'm having moments where I'm trying to do something and switch between spots, and it's a little bit more difficult without one. So I want to go ahead and see if I can get that straight. So I'll be right back. I just got to fix this phone to use it as my backup because it's one of my old phones. It's my old Note. It's one of my old Note 10s. I have another one here. This one works just fine, but I use it as Willow's camera. This one over here is not working, so I'm going to fix it. I have a screen replacement that I bought like 6 years ago. I have a screen replacement that I bought like 6 years ago that I've just never used. Well, no, actually, what happened is I bought this screen replacement to fix this phone, but then when I got this phone, I took this screen off and put it on this phone, and then put this screen back on this phone, and then just left it alone for a little while because it was still working at the time. It was just broken. So, yeah, now I need to put this screen back on this one so that I can use this as a stream deck. So, right now, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a bit and come back when I have a stream deck. Okay? I will see you guys in a bit. Hey. Yay. Okay. Okay. That was reasonable, I guess. Got it done. Lost power for a second while I was in there, though, so that's why everything went quonky for a bit. Oh, goodness. All right. Oh. That was. Hey. Not gonna lie, I forgot this was my kid's phone. I forgot I had given this phone to my kid, and that's why it was broken. I thought I had given it to. I forgot that the broken one was the one that I had given to my son, and the one that's working is the one that I had given to my father-in-law. Because it makes sense when you think about it that, oh yeah, the one that the adult had is the one that's working, and the one that the kid had is the one that's broken. I wasn't paying attention. I forgot. So now I have both of them back in working order. Got both of them back in working order. The one my kid had, and the one my kid had, and the one I had, or the one father-in-law. So yeah, I have. Whew. So right now, I'm having issues with all right. I'm gonna come back a little bit later. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go and get lunch. So right now, I'm gonna get lunch, and I will come back. So the question becomes, do I shut down the stream or do I put it on BRB? I'm unstable right now on Twitch, so I think I might want to just shut down for a bit. And I'll come right back. All right? I'm going to make sure everybody's good over here. I will see you guys back in a bit, and we'll go ahead and keep writing. Or we'll switch over to gaming. Not 100% sure. But if I come back after 2, I'll probably do some God of War. Because I need to get some God of War cracked in. Just because I need to get that shit done before August. Alright? Oh wait. I didn't even realize there were 3 games. But yeah, alright. I gotta get these games done. So yeah, I gotta get the God of War done. So I'll talk to you guys. I'm gonna actually come back, see you guys later. So yeah.